Have you ever experienced an existential crisis where you weren't sure about who you are, what you stand for, what your sense of meaning or purpose is? You're not alone. There are so many people who feel lost, as if they're just going about life on autopilot, as if their mind is pre-programmed to do this, this, and this. You wake up, you go to school or you go to work, you come home, you rest a little bit, and then you go to sleep and you do it all over again. And then it's very robotic. What's the joy in that? Especially if you don't like school or you don't like your job, then you're just doing things that have no meaning. You are essentially existing. You're not living life to the fullest. You're not doing anything that is in support of who you are. So, in order to switch off autopilot and in order to help you determine who you actually are and find out who you are, then you need to explore that part of yourself. You need to dive deep into understanding who you are authentically. The ultimate mental health toolbox, mastering the skills therapists use. In the fourth module, Existential Psychotherapy, I dive deep into what you can do in order to help you explore who you are. And not only that, but also identify your ideal self and your realistic self, and what to do on how to minimize that gap. So this way you are in line with your ideal self and your authentic self, as opposed to being on autopilot and then having this ideal sense of self with a tremendous gap in the middle. This is where anxiety lives in the gap, and that's where depression lives. Mental illness loves the gap because then that means this gives us room to attack ourselves or to continually do things and justify doing things that aren't in line with what we believe, what our values are, and what our core personality is. This is why it's so important to find out who you are so you can start to think critically, you can question things that don't make sense to you, and you can start creating your own life. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. The first step is taking action.